Hi, everybody. This is Mike Gerdes from the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living with our Wonder Dog Yoga. And we just got back this evening from Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, formerly known as Mach Chunk. And you heard us speaking about those being up there the last couple days. It's nice to be home. But it was some wonderful adventures we had. And then when we came home, there she goes. When we came home, I had planned on taking Dr. Maxine out to dinner. And we were going to go to a restaurant that we like. And it turned out, when we got there, that the restaurant was closed. What? I made reservations. They made this big special deal about needing to be there, not to miss our reservations. And I was kind of concerned about this. Well, the restaurant we were going to go to is called The Terrain. It's in Devon. I don't know if any of you know of it. But right next to it was this other restaurant called Tortoria. And evidently they're owned by the same group or the same people. And they said they could get us in there. And I thought, well, okay. And I said, there's two things though. Number one, we're vegan. And number two, this is a birthday dinner. She said we could take care of it. Turned out to be one of the finest meals we've ever had. And we met a wonderful, wonderful chef there by the name of Joe Frost. And if you get a chance, go to Tortoria and have something exquisitely made by Joe Frost. Even if you're not a vegan, I'm sure he's got other things, because if he can cook food for vegans that well, he must do something tremendous for those of you who eat flesh. The point of all that is that I'm telling you about is to always look for the good in everything. We're told in the Bible to always look for the good in everything. You know, and I've heard that over and over in my life. There was this one story that I used to tell, and so I guess I'm telling it again, about my aunt and uncle. This was Uncle Ted and Aunt Lois. Krause was his last name. And this is my mother's sister. And they lived in a town called Redmond, Washington, and they had this old barn. And in this old barn was just full of manure. And I was staying out with them for a few days. And I was out there shoveling away at that manure. And Uncle Ted came out and said, "Hey, Mikey, how come you're doing all that work?" And I said, "Well, Uncle Ted, with all this horse manure around here, I figured there had to be a pony somewhere." Now, truth be known, that's a made-up story, but you get the point. In any situation you're going through, if it's a tough one, look for the pony. Look for the pony in it. Now, you may have known that I've had some real tough experiences last year. You know, my son jumping off the planet. You could say, okay, where are you going to find the good in that? Well, I can tell you this is where I can find the good in it now. At the time, it was real hard to find any good in it because I was experiencing a lot of grief naturally, a lot of sadness. And now I can see that what that allowed me to do is actually grow closer to spirit than I ever have before. And I know that Kyle is okay. Now, he had a horrible drug problem for most of his life, and he doesn't have that now. I'm convinced that he continues to live on in another plane of experience, but he doesn't have that horrible drug problem that he had. And I made some connections with people. Made a closer connection with Dr. Maxine, made some connections with some dear friends of mine who stood with me, sat Shiva with me, and helped me through a real hard time. So I know that there's good in that too. There's good in everything if we look for it. It may not be easy to see when we're right in it. But we can call it forth. Because this is the story. You and I are here to express a greater divine purpose. And everything necessary for that to happen is given to us, is presented to us. And anything that gets in the way of that is taken away from us. So that the better self, the reality self, the true self of ourselves may be better expressed. Now that's sometimes kind of a hard lesson to get, or a hard lesson to accept. But the truth is, God, the universe, the law, has our back. It wants only the good for us. Because by wanting the good for us and expressing the good for us, it knows good through us. We are the means by which God has a good time. We are the means by which Spirit expresses and experiences itself. So, yes, there's things go on in our political situation right now. And you would wonder, where's the good in that? Well, I can tell you where the good in it is. Right now, people are taking a look at the underbelly of what's been going on in the political system for years. They're taking a look at the racism. They're taking a look at the white supremacy. They're taking a look at the gender bias issues. They're taking a look at all this horrible stuff that's been covered up with smiling faces because people haven't had to look at it. With our current administration and government, you got to look at it because it's being tweeted at you all the time. What's good in this? It's going to allow us to clean up the mess. It's going to allow us to clean up the wounds. And it's going to allow us in new thought, those of us religious scientists, and all of the world to pray so that a greater life comes forth for everyone. You know, sometimes we have to take a look at the dark side to clean it out so that the light may shine forth. Now's the time for the light to shine forth. This horrible situation with George Floyd, I believe it was his name, that got killed so brutally. What's the good in that? Well, the good in that is he's become a martyr. He's become a true martyr, and more people of all different kinds of races have picked up the banner against racist, brutal behavior, and are not tolerating improper police conduct, are not tolerating improper government actions. You continue to see this happening in Portland and various cities right now where the government's stepping in. You got people stepping up to say, no, not in my name. So there is some good that's coming forth from this. Sometimes it takes some bad to find the good. Let's look for the good. Let's demand the good comes forth. And then let's do our part in seeing that it does. Well, today is Dr. Maxine's birthday, as I alluded to. And I want to tell you how wonderful that it is that it's my opportunity to celebrate this birthday again with her. And what a gift she is to me. As we celebrate another year around the sun, she's very, very special, I know, to me and to so many of you. There's been lots of phone calls and lots of emails and cards. People have sent cards. You know, she's really a popular person. And there's a reason for that. Because she loves people. And because she loves people, people love her. Yeah, let's look for the good. And you know what? When we look for the good, we find it. And if you get a chance, and if you haven't sent Dr. Maxine a happy birthday note, well, it's still a few hours before tomorrow. You can send her one, or you can send her a belated one, because the truth be known is she deserves it, and you'll feel better if you send it. So having said that and embarrassed her, I'm going to bid you good night. Stay tuned tomorrow for her sharing a love note with you, and then on Sunday she'll be live streaming a talk. And go to our website, cslphilly.org. That's cslphilly.org, and you can see archives of our previous love notes. You can see our archives of previous Sunday talks that she's given. You'll see all kinds of stories about upcoming classes that are happening, and also there's an opportunity for you to make a contribution. There's a donate button there. And we truly appreciate whenever you can give whatever you can, because it's your gifts, your contributions that allow us to continue on with our ministry. We love you, we appreciate you, and thank you for being a part of our lives, because you're the reason we're here, and so it is. Bye-bye.